I ran into a spider web and I felt it crawling on my neck, and I felt a pinch, and I went oh like that, and that took
Can you
care
do
of
that
it.
one more time?
It's another week, and that means there is another episode. Welcome back, everybody, to That Cousin Show, episode 5.
Hi, Dillon.
Hi, Joel. How you doing?
Hi, Luke.
Hello, everyone. Cody.
I single you out because you're my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Jeez. Now, what about me, man? I
So
thought I was
happy.
cool.
I don't know who you are still.
Are you still part of this podcast?
I know. I thought I was going to be voted off the island here. Okay.
Oh, no.
It's going to
He's
be
losing it. He's already
happening
It's
losing
going to
it.
be a long episode, everybody. This is what
It's
we're in for
happening
right
again.
now. We
Trying to
appreciate
use microphone.
everybody. We appreciate everybody coming back and listening to us. Everybody out there who would consider themselves fans at this point. Appreciate you guys. It's awesome. You know, we hope
We
that
love you.
Especially Luke.
Luke loves you a lot. That's all I'm trying to get at here. He needs somebody. He needs someone to hold. No, we appreciate you guys coming out here because I was looking at the news. Like, you know, if you ever watch the news, it's just depressing every time. And I'm like, you know what would be better if you just came here and listened to our podcast. It'd be way better.
Yes.
It'd be so much more entertaining if you just listened to us. And we appreciate you guys coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll inform you of the goings and comings of life.
Yeah.
Is that a
Well,
saying?
would you rather be depressed or bored?
I don't know, but I made it up.
Yeah, I think the thing I saw in the news was like it was all the aftermath of that Hurricane Florence thing, and it's just, and then the politics and everything else. I'm like, dude, why is everything such a downer, man? Like, this is just terrible, and it's a lot of it's just, it makes me go like, dude, I'm terrified. I'm terrified of the world. I just want to go, you know, talk to you guys more often, and I think people should come join us more
To
often.
be fair, I am terrified of Cody always.
Well,
So
after
this does
that,
not help me.
to me. You should be afraid of me, Joel.
I'm pretty sure Cody is high.
There he
my
goes.
God.
There
Dude,
he goes.
I'm terrified of Cody. Is anybody else scared of Cody right now?
Good
I'm
old
scared.
good Cody seizure.
I had a turkey burger and it was really good. And
Turkey burger full of steroids.
steroids
Brown
is what makes
turkey,
you go
man.
crazy.
That does it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, your face gets so red every time you do something like
I can make it redder if you want.
that. Do you ever go see the doctor for hypertension? I think you should. I think it's
I
probably
told
something.
you, I don't know any doctors. I can't find their number.
Never heard of Google? Don't think about it.
That's the reason Cody hasn't seen a doctor. He can't
I
find
use-
a doctor's number.
I use Ask Jeeves. And
Ask
he doesn't know.
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
And then you map quest it.
I use Netscape
print it out.
Navigator.
I don't remember the last time I even went to the doctor. Does anybody go to the doctor regularly? I know, like, when we're young and
probably
our
go
age.
back.
Yeah, man.
Probably need to. No, honestly, like I know a lot of people that are our age that they don't go to the doctor that regularly. Like, I don't. I think the last time I went was like 2 years ago. I was like a little sick. It was like those things where I couldn't like breathe. Like someone was suffocating me, and I was like, probably should go to the doctor.
I was just one of those little things where you just, couldn't breathe.
Someone was choking me, and just
Yeah.
Reason for visit: being murdered.
actually, speaking of being choked, I went and saw the Nun.
It's a
Did
good
anybody
segue.
Getting choked.
Did anybody
is
see the
getting weird.
Did anybody see that horror movie, The Nun? It's like in the theaters right now. That horror movie.
No,
Don't see
I
it.
saw. I saw. Really?
Yeah, didn't like it. Not good.
Oh,
It's disappointing.
interesting.
Not
All right.
very good. But like again, what I was talking about, which is spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but believe me, I'm probably doing you a favor by just skipping to the end here. But there's a scene where like it's of course an evil nun that's haunting the main characters.
What?
And yeah, who would have thought in a horror movie people getting haunted? Yeah, but she has like these supernatural abilities that don't really they're not really well explained. Like she can like push people across the room with like her mind or something like that. But at the end, the way she gets the main actress is she's just gonna choke her. The whole movie, like this monster or this demon or this ghost or whatever has been like hiding in the shadows in the background where she can't see them, but as us the audience members we can see her. And her whole line of attack is, I'm gonna choke her out. That was I'm like, what? Like you have these supernatural powers where you can like make people fly across the room. And you're like, you son of a... Like, what?
That's like Inspector Gadget like not being able to eat because he can't find a fork.
That's a good analogy.
That was a fantastic analogy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I worked hard on that. I thought for a long, hard time.
Now, like I when I was watching that movie, I knew it wasn't going to be a good horror movie in the first 2 minutes because there's these two nuns walking down like this corridor, and there's just dry ice everywhere, and I'm going, I have never been in a situation where there's dry ice. Have you ever walked into a place you're like, dude, what's with all this? Just this little like
just
layer
smoke everywhere.
Yeah, like what?
Have you been to my room?
That's not dry ice, Cody.
Yeah.
Actually, I did walk into the bathroom while Cody was taking a bath, and it was just all dry ice just coming out of the bath. I don't know if that was from his body or the ice.
Come in, don't be shy.
Dude, I'm worried about Cody.
And then the scene from The Shining just played out.
Yeah. He just stands up
Zombie
slowly,
woman.
pulls the curtain back.
I was buck naked. You didn't look away. I appreciate that.
It's actually a good point because we did kiss also. So it's pretty accurate to that scene.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was very disappointed by that movie. But Joel, you and I are big horror movie fans. What was the last horror movie you saw that you really you're like, that was a good horror movie?
Well, actually, a new horror movie? I don't know. It's been a while.
It could be like in the last
Probably-
10, 15 years
probably
or something.
Get Out was good. But actually, I just rewatched The Sixth Sense the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, like 2 days ago. Yeah, it is a fantastic movie. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Unfortunately, M. Night Shyamalan has not really
gonna
lived
say.
up to that movie, but...
No,
What happened to M. Night Shyamalan?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But yeah, that movie's chilling. That scene where he walks down the hallway and sees the mom with the cut wrists and just he runs back to the tent. Which, by the way, that's like one of my phobias is people that cut their wrists or like get their throats slit. I can't watch it in a horror movie. I'll watch anything, but I can't watch when people get their throats or their wrists cut. Can't
Really?
do it. Yeah.
Really?
It's like a weird phobia. I don't know. It's
You're weak.
Well, you don't like your neck touched.
yeah. I don't know what it is. Some people have told me it's like from some psychological thing when I was a kid. Maybe Cody like tried to choke me out. He was the nun, trying to like say, I'm going to get you.
I would stomp on you. I wouldn't choke you.
You crush my skull.
Come on, Dylan.
Yeah.
Get it right.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, just weird. And I don't want people touching me there. It's like vital organs. So I don't know. Just like, I don't want people touching me.
Yeah, I don't mind like getting my neck touched or whatever. But as far as like weird fears go, and I guess this isn't that weird because this is like one of the most common phobias, but spiders, I cannot stand them. If
That's
I
very
see
common.
a spider, oh yeah, it's like, I don't know, something about its 8 legs, they're all thin and creepy and just coming for me. I just can't handle it. I can't take it.
Well, Joel, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one because I think that applies to all of us.
Yeah.
None of us like spiders.
Cody
at all.
especially. Cody especially hates spiders.
Yeah, I don't like spiders either.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for your input, Cody.
That was
Let
very
me
good.
clarify. I'm not a big fan.
What is it about spiders that just creep people out? What is it? Is it a little? I think it's the legs.
I think it's
like
the legs.
all. Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
legs.
just thinking about it gives me the chills.
The other day, it was yesterday. We opened the front door. Biggest black widow I've ever seen, right in the door jamb, like just right there. I turned into a 2-year-old little baby girl. Screamed, cried. I ran away.
hung out with
You
your
had
daughter.
you had your toddler daughter kill it for you.
Yes, I did.
Exactly.
You used your
I did.
toddler to kill the spider.
Well, I remember Cody's
You threw
bedroom.
her at it.
Cody, remember your bedroom back in the day? It's actually, I think you
I'm
might
in
be
it right now.
You're in it right now, but I think that we have painted over the wall since then. But you used to have the remains of all the spiders you had killed on the wall as like a battle
Trophies.
cry to everybody else saying, this is what happens. But little did you know that spiders are cannibals, so you probably were just like creating more.
Well, some of them are still there, and there actually is some blood from the spiders, and some of my blood as well.
Did you paint around the blood?
Paint over it. You don't paint around it, but it's still not enough paint. We ran out.
Not enough paint. Cody lives in a dungeon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what the
There's
heck?
a lot of chains now.
Yeah.
Cody goes to Home Depot to buy cans of paint. He's like, "Is this enough to get rid of the
I'm
spider
like,
guts
what's
on my
those
wall?"
thick chains that you would put on, like on a ship?
What's your guys' like method for killing spiders? Everybody has like a different method.
Broom. Safe
A
distance.
broom?
That's a solid.
effective.
That's a solid method.
Broom.
No, I feel like it would it would like disguise itself in like the little bristles, and you'd be like, I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's in
and
the
then
bristles
later
somewhere.
it just crawls back out.
And then that's when you hit the broom on the ground and then it falls out. And you're like, okay, now I have easy access.
Because the job ain't done until you see the carcass.
I gotta know it's dead.
So it's plastered on the wall.
Anytime Luke's wife like kills a spider, she's like, "Well, I got it." Luke's like, "I want to see the body."
I want to see the body. Show me the body.
Until I see a death
body.
certificate,
I want to see its death records.
I'm not confident.
I need a coroner to call the time.
I take the spider's pulse every time.
But yeah, spiders are definitely like universally one of the scariest insects. I think it's probably arguably like the scariest bug or small animal thing out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Oh, any bug though. Any bug, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
let's be honest.
Ladybug,
the worst
Ladybug.
is
roly-poly.
the worst is when they catch you by surprise, and like because I think I'm only scared of them in the right context. Like if I see it from a mile away and I'm like, it's just a spider on the wall, I'll get it. But if it sneaks up on me, buddy, just adrenaline through the roof. My face gets as red as Cody's. It's just suddenly like bursts, and I'm like, ah. The worst is when they come like dangling down in front of you, and the legs are all kicking.
Yeah.
And you're like, get out of here, buddy.
And I don't know about you guys, but if there's like if I'm surprised like that and there's a spider close to me or on me, I become like my body just tries to fight itself. Like I'm punching my arm if it was like close to my arm. I'm like trying to hack it off. Like it's diseased. It touched me. I know it.
Did you ever get that feeling like when you feel like there's something crawling on you? You never think like, oh, that's probably a caterpillar or like that's a roly-poly. You go, that's a spider for sure. Whatever that is, it's a spider.
Oh yeah.
And
it's deadly.
yeah, it's definitely
Deadly spider.
It's the most venomous, not even discovered yet spider on your body.
It is a spider from Arachnophobia on me right now.
Yeah.
You are Jeff Daniels.
I'm Jeff Daniels.
Cody, you got bit by one not too long ago. I remember you said you were going for a walk and it didn't want to attack you or something.
Yeah, it fell out of. I forget how that happened. I ran into a spider web and I felt it crawling on my neck, and I felt a pinch, and I went oh like that, and that took
Can you
care
do
of
that one
it.
more time?
Cody's one of those guys that will do it.
I think that first scene in Spider-Man would have been real different if he had the same reaction. Tobey Maguire.
Spider-Man would have never happened.
Cause like, wasn't that spider like nuclear? It was like a nuclear spider, wasn't it, or something like?
It was like some
the one that attacked Cody.
designed-
What if he smashed it like Peter Parker smashed that spider and it just caused a giant nuclear explosion?
Would have been a really short
Killed
movie.
everyone. The end.
Just credits.
Credits roll.
A-bomb credits.
Yeah. That's a moment in that movie where so many people would be so mad that they did that, but I think I would just be so amazed and think that's hysterical. I'd stand up and just do a slow clap. Just
Oh my god, it would be amazing.
I know I paid $12 for this movie, but it was worth every 10 minutes of it.
I remember when we went to go. I remember a distinct moment I had that in the movie was we went to go see. It was the last Harry Potter movie. It was like a big event. I think we were all there. I remember Luke, your wife, was like in tears in the whole thing. But she's a huge fan of the books. But anyway, at the very end, there's a scene where like the three, like Harry, Ron, and Hermione are on this bridge, and Harry gets up and I think he breaks like a wand and he throws it off or something like that. And I was sitting next to Josh, and Josh just probably wasn't into the movie. And I just remember he whispered over to me. He was like, "What if when Harry like stepped up on that ledge and they're like way high up in the air, and he steps up and he's like, I'm gonna throw this," and he just falls off the edge and falls to his death." And it was in that moment where I was like, dude, if that happened, that I would just, and it like cut to credits, and I just would have stood up and been like, just best.
Bravo.
Oh man,
You
it
outdid
would have been worth the reaction. It would have been worth the
Greatest,
reaction.
greatest troll ever.
There's like 7 movies leading up to that one scene.
Yeah. Imagine that in the books though. Like you get through like 7-8 books, like 1,000 pages each, and then the last sentence is just like Harry Potter trips on a stone and falls off the bridge. The end.
Dude, I would be the biggest fan of J.K. Rowling ever if she did that. I would think that is brilliant. That is brilliant. You build up this character in this franchise, everyone loves it. You just kill him off in the dumbest way.
Yeah.
It's like she's just so bad at the character. Forget it.
That'd be amazing.
Isn't that like what Paul Sheldon did in Misery, where he killed off Misery? It's like she died at like, I forget what she said. I read the book too, and I don't remember what happened in the book, but it was like he killed off Misery, like she gave birth to like their kid or something, and she died, and that's when Kathy Bates walks in and is like, she can't be dead. It's like shaking the bed. Like psychoticness. That's another creepy movie. That's a really good horror movie. I like that one.
It is a great one.
It's one of my favorites.
If it didn't have Kathy Bates, it wouldn't be that great.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what it is. All love Kathy Bates. Like she would have been just like any other actress to us, but for some reason in that movie, you're just like, dude, I love this actress. She's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we were watching recently? I was watching Dragonheart on. Speaking of Kathy Bates,
she's not in Dragonheart. She's not in that movie.
I know she's not in that movie, but she has a dragon heart. We're watching Dragonheart on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this." And about 40 minutes in, I was like, "This doesn't look like Dragonheart." And then I realized, oh, there's a 2017 version. I thought there was only one, and that's from 1996 with Sean Connery. I was like, none of this looks familiar. And then I realized there's like a sequel that was made recently, and I was like shocked. Like that movie was so good they had to make a sequel.
Was it good?
No, it was terrible.
No.
Yeah, it was
on
on Netflix.
Dragonheart.
Yeah, super random. Don't watch it.
Yeah,
I just love that it took you 40 minutes to figure that out.
He's like, wait a minute.
Well, you know, I'm slow.
Need some help on that one. Yeah, that's a good one. I remember that one. Actually, I think one of my friends posted that on Facebook. They were watching that movie, and I was like, I forgot about that movie. That's really good. That's a good one.
Who was the main character? Dennis Quaid?
Quaid, man.
The Quaid.
I am Quaid.
I am Quaid.
He was in Vantage Point as well. He was good in that one.
Thanks, Cody.
No one saw that movie.
Cody's on IMDb right now.
Good input.
Yeah, he's like,
No.
no. What else was he in? I'm trying to think of like the other good horror movies that we had seen in the past. You know, Joel, we went through like a horror movie phase where we watched, I think, every horror movie out there, at least the ones you should see at least. And the one that there was a special that Bravo did. It was like the 100 scariest movies ever, and I think you and I watched the crap out of that show. And they got to the countdown. They got to the very end. It was Jaws, and I think you and I were kind of disappointed by that. Going, listen, Jaws is a pretty good movie. Don't get me wrong. Scariest, give me a break. Not the scariest thing out there. However, I will say that I think my biggest fear is being out in the middle of the ocean at night with nothing around. That's probably my biggest fear, by far. So it's weird that movie didn't creep me out that much. To you? Well, when we were on that cruise ship that one time, I was like, this is as close as I'm going to get.
We went skinny dipping.
Like, oh.
Jumped off the boat.
Yeah.
It's the exact first scene from Jaws. No, I still, it's like a tradition for me. In October, all those episodes from that Bravo 100 and Scariest Moments or whatever is on YouTube, and I watch them religiously every year. It's great. Yeah, I love it. Except for number one, obviously.
I remember that too. And I remember you guys watching it. I never was that into horror movies, but I remember you guys watching that Bravo thing, and it was pretty good.
It was good.
Pretty comprehensive list.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it definitely. Again, I know not everybody like really tunes into horror that much. It's either you love it or you hate it, and I think I'm in the love it category. And you know, after seeing The Nun, I was just so disappointed. I was like, I need to revisit some like old horror movies, but there's definitely a few out there that are pretty good. I think the first horror movie I ever saw was Halloween H2O. I think we talked about this in one of the previous podcasts, actually. I think that was the first horror movie ever saw. It wasn't even the original Halloween. And they're actually remaking the Halloween that's coming out soon with Jamie Lee Curtis again. And when I see the preview for that, have you guys seen the preview for the Halloween movie? I don't know what you guys think. Again, I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I hope it's good. But I'm extremely skeptical because it looks like it's just Halloween H4O. It looks like it's the same exact thing as Halloween H2O, just 20 years after, 20 years later. It's like she's like, I'm going to get vengeance and I'm going to kill him. And it's like, what's new here? Like, we've seen this.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, what would you want to see? Like, do you want to see him like half robot or like half man, half shark? Like, what can they really do to Michael Myers? He's got to wear the same mask. He's got to just like go around killing people with a knife.
Well, I would hope that they could think of something original to do, or just leave it alone. It's got to be one of the two. Either leave it alone, or do something completely different. And if they're just gonna rehash the same old thing, I'm like, don't lure me in with Jamie Lee Curtis on the poster. Don't do it. And if I walk in there and I don't like this, I'm gonna be really mad. I'm gonna sue somebody. I'm gonna call up the director and be like, hey, what was that all about?
That goes for every Jamie Lee Curtis movie ever existed. If I see her on the poster, I'm front and center.
Speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis, I just found out there's 4 Dragon Hearts.
There are 4 of them?
4 of them.
My goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Starring Kathy Bates.
Starring Kathy
All of them
Bates
starring
and
Kathy Bates.
Jamie Lee Curtis was the dragon.
Okay.
God.
See. All right. Yeah, I don't think I'd go across Netflix and click on the remake of Dragonheart. I don't think I would do it.
That'd be my second choice, at least.
Actually, there's another movie on Netflix called The Fearing. Joel, have you heard about that one?
I think I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's not correct. It's called The Terrifier. That's what it's called.
Oh, then I
it's
lied. I have never heard of it.
Okay. It starts off pretty good, but then it gets way over the top, and that's where most horror movies go nowadays. It's just way over the top. Everyone's into like the, just gross out stuff, and everyone gets really scared about those things. But I'm like, this was kind of creepy, but then it turned into just gross. Just
right.
I don't want to see that crap.
No point to it.
Yeah. I'm like, I could pass on that. But the original Halloween H2O, I think I saw Luke and Joel. I think we saw you guys after we'd seen that movie, and I was like, scared to death. I was like, dude, I don't know what that was. I was like 10 years old, and I just remember being like, well, ain't sleeping tonight.
Not gonna happen. Yeah. Even though that movie was kind of crap.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's not even that scary. But to a 10-year-old, you're like, what's this guy doing? Like, he's just killing people?
Yeah.
And he's just evil?
Since we were talking about phobias, I looked up like the weirdest phobias out there. Mm-hmm. There are some really crazy ones that I've never heard of before. I'm gonna butcher these, but this is my favorite by far. It's like anatetophobia or something like that, and it is the fear of a duck watching you. And I'm not making that up. That's a real phobia.
Oh.
Always being scared because you think a duck is watching you. That is the weirdest thing ever.
I want to meet someone with that.
I don't want to take them.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him, get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I want to meet somebody with the opposite problem. I'm afraid that if a duck's not watching me.
Like that's they have to know that they're not normal. They have to know that it's not a normal
I don't
fear.
know.
It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm terrified of like I can admit that being afraid of a spider is probably a little weird because this tiny little thing's just an insect. But I can at least say that it's creepy the way it moves. I think we can all agree on that. But a duck, like, it's a duck, dude. It's just it's a bird.
This reminds me of an interesting question that was brought up in one of my book clubs. I don't have a book club. Are you kidding me?
Not only that, but you have multiple book clubs in your
one
in
is
one of
Strictly
your
magazine.
book clubs.
Well, anyway, this reminds me of an interesting question that was brought up a long time ago. Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Or 100 duck-sized horses? I don't know.
Duck-sized. 100 duck-sized horses.
See, either a really huge duck or a bunch of small horses.
Yeah. Yes. You got it.
I think I'd rather fight a horse-sized duck. I don't know why. Yeah.
I'm trying to get the image in my head.
That was my answer too.
I mean, how awesome would that be? Just as a story.
I feel like if you had 100 duck-sized horses, they could overpower you, and your shins, like from kicking them, would get really sore. and like your legs would weaken, and then you'd fall to the ground and have to fight them with your fists. And it's hard to punch a horse that's even the size of a duck. Would be tough because they're just full of muscle.
Yeah, and how are you going to tell that story the next day? You're going to walk into work with bruises on your shins.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what happened, Cody?
Right.
What happened, Cody? Oh, I fought a bunch of tiny.
I kicked a whole
Cody
bunch of horses.
Cody wears shorts to work.
Yeah, all the time. Short shorts.
Daisy Dukes.
It'd be like just punching a bunch of like strong pecs. Just
What? Cody, you do that often?
every Friday.
I don't know. I think I would go for the small horses. Yeah, again, I think that because when I think of like how a horse attacks, a horse doesn't really attack that much. I feel like when ducks get mad, like they come at you, and I can imagine a huge one like the size of a horse. Dude, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
That would be really intense. A bunch of small little horses, I'd be like, you know what? I think if I just wore really extra padded socks, I think I'd be a little okay. Just kicking them and just swatting them, shoving them around. You gotta kind of like get yourself in a position where they only can come at you one at a time. Because if you put yourself in a circle, you can't Bruce Lee them and just be like, all right, just everyone circle around me. You have to kind of like
just get
You're
yourself a
in a
weed
meadow.
whacker. Take care of it. Yeah.
No weapons. You're just you're naked, buck naked.
okay, well,
That
I don't know. That
changes
was part of the
everything.
rules. I know.
Yep.
Jeez.
You're naked and you're in a meadow out in the open.
What scenario would warrant me to be naked fighting a whole bunch of mini horses?
Isn't that what you normally are? Aren't you normally in the buff?
That's the Hunger Games right there. If that was like, what if that was how the Hunger Games was? They didn't have to kill each other; they just had to kill a bunch of duck-sized horses.
Release the horses.
So weird ducks. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. That would definitely be a situation where I hope I'm never in that. But who knows? Mutations happening these days. I don't know. Freakiest things.
Then duck
Mutations
horses.
happening. What mutations are happening these days?
The X-Men.
Yeah.
The X-Men, man, they're coming everywhere.
Speaking of horses, when's the last time you had a Charlie horse?
The other night,
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hate him.
Oh God.
You wake up and
Worst
it's just
thing.
like the worst thing in the world. It always happens like in the middle of the night. You're just having a nice old dream, and then all of a sudden your leg is just like somebody's got a grip on it, just won't let go.
I don't think I've ever had a Charlie horse in my whole life.
Are you serious?
God. You're probably
I
very
think
well
I have.
hydrated.
Yeah, I've had it. It's not
I do
fun.
drink a lot.
Yeah, I've definitely had it, and it sucks. It will wake you up, like you're just like, well, I'm wide awake now because this was the worst experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they're not
I'd
fun.
rather-
We
be
went
dead.
we went from Charlie horses to we went from horror movies to Charlie horse. Never mind.
I don't know. We have gone
night
all
To
over
Charlie
the place.
Wilson's War.
Charlie horses war.
Well, it was like we were mentioning mutations earlier. We went to Santa Barbara this last weekend, and I don't know how we got on the subject, my girlfriend and I, but we were talking about those, those girls that are like on TLC. Is it TLC? Is that right? TCL? TLC?
Is it still a channel?
Still a channel, I guess. But the girls that had the two heads, like the Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't think those girls will ever not be asked questions. Forever, they'll just constantly be asked questions. We will never run out of things to wonder about how they operate and how they do
Yeah.
things. And I'd wonder like if they have to set up a schedule where they go, listen, like we'll spend 3 hours a month just answering any question you want. The rest of the time, you gotta leave us alone. We're gonna live our normal lives. Then we'll come back next month and we'll answer another round of questions, any question you want. Just because, like, how do you live a normal life? You can't. It's impossible. Like when you have two heads that are sharing the same body, like what do they do? Like again, like just basic questions, like how do you go, use the bathroom? Like how do you shower? What if you guys want to date? What if you guys want to get married? Like how's that gonna work? How does that work? Like I don't. Just basic stuff like that. I'm like I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of Dragonheart, I was
That's what that sequel was about. Was the Siamese twins. It actually wasn't even a sequel. It was just Cody on TLC going, "This is a Dragonheart sequel."
the documentary.
That's the weirdest
is the
dragon I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's hard enough being semi-normal myself and being asked a bunch of questions. I can't imagine having like a second head and and
Right.
being asked a bunch of questions.
It's like, oh, how's your day? God, kill me.
Oh, yeah.
At least you have someone else there to like answer the question for you in case you can't think of an answer. Like you're both accountable.
That's true.
You could just like turn around and have someone else.
Could be twice as
answer.
smart.
Yeah.
It's
Have
true.
a spokesperson. Pick one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can always say that the other person was responsible for whatever thing you didn't do. Just say, oh, that was
That's
their
true.
job. Right there. Just blame it all on them. Yeah, I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like when they book a plane ticket, do they get one ticket or do they get two? Yeah, that's a good question. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
I would say it's
question.
one butt, so it's got to be one ticket. Because you're buying one seat.
but they're two
Yeah, it's
people.
two
I think
people.
I think it's 3 butt cheeks. So you'd have to get 1.5 tickets.
They have a special on 1.5.
Yeah. Dragon heads. Special.
Adult, children, and Siamese twins.
You want the Dragon Heart ticket.
Well, actually, well, speaking of like planes and phobias, like I think, if you guys ever go on a plane, Joel, you know this probably more than all of us. You're constantly traveling back and forth from California to Seattle. The amount, like every time you get on a plane, I don't care how many times you have flown, there's always that feeling of this could be it. This could be the one. You never get that feeling when you get in your car. You're like, it's just another day. I'm gonna go to work. But like, when you get the plane, you're like, this is it. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it, but why is that? Like, again, it's statistically, like, chances are it's definitely not gonna happen. But somehow it's just like, whoo, buddy. Every time I get the sweats. Like when we went to Vegas last time, I remember Josh was almost having an emotional breakdown because we were just, I think it was middle seat. And he was probably already drunk at that point. But it was just like it's every time you fly. Like
I'm more worried that the plane's not going to have an outlet for me to charge my phone. That's my biggest concern.
or that they don't serve alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more worried that my daughter isn't gonna like cry the entire time on the plane. Then
I remember that
Yeah.
actually one time when I went to go visit you in Seattle, Joel. I think it was the last time I was up there, and I think I told you I was in the middle row, and 2 people next to me I didn't know, and the person that had the window seat had the visor down the entire time. And so I didn't have perspective of how high we were, but you can kind of feel the plane, and the Seattle flight's not that long. And I was watching an in-flight movie, and the captain comes on and says, we'll be landing in like 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. So like I think maybe 30 seconds went by, maybe. All of a sudden it's just boom! We hit the runway, and I had no idea we were that close. And I'm pretty sure I went through 4 pairs of pants. I had just never been so scared. It was just this immediate like heart attack, like, oh my gosh, what was that? Like, just totally didn't see it coming, and it scared me to death.
well, have you
I
guys?
think the bigger issue is that you were wearing 4 pairs of pants at the time.
Just for that reason.
Yeah.
Just for that reason.
No. If a plane, I mean, if it's landing, if it's touching the ground and like you're going at a decent speed, then I'm like fine. I'm like, all right, we made it. But if it's, I have more fear like taking off because that's when like more accidents happen. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I've flown so much or whatever, it's never really bothered me that much at all. It's like never been an issue. I have more like my bigger issues. Like I have social anxiety, so if I have a window seat and I have to pee, like I'm stressed out that I have to ask somebody to get up. Like that's the worst case scenario for me.
Yeah,
You just gotta scream, move!
I'm the same way. I can't like I will like cause bladder damage. Like I will wait so long. I don't care.
You get up, you're just all bloated.
Yeah. No, have you guys ever been in like actual like gnarly turbulence? Joel and I have.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like, I don't know what constitutes as gnarly. Actually, coming back from Japan one time, that was pretty intense. It was such a long flight, and you're like,
Yeah.
I just can't escape.
No,
Yeah,
like
it's when
I
it
think
keeps
it
going
like,
down.
Yeah, like gnarly. I'd constitute gnarly turbulence as if people start screaming.
Yeah.
Gnarly turbulence.
Right. If people
Not internal
start screaming, yeah. if people start screaming and you're like rapidly dropping like elevation, then there's something to be said there. But
And the pilot
rare.
screaming.
Yeah. That was like the craziest. Like, it was like out of a movie. Like, all of a sudden, like, plane is going totally fine, totally normal. All of a sudden, it was like a roller coaster. We're all weightless. We're like doing a full on nosedive for who knows how long. People are screaming, women and children crying, like horrible. I'm crying, like I don't know what's going on.
You know, as bad as it was actually pretty. It was perfect timing for me because like as it was happening, like everybody was stressing out, and I was like, "Could you get up? I have to pee."
Now's the
Perfect
time.
timing.
Actually, when we went to go see the Nun this weekend, we went to the theater, and again, like I have a small bladder. Just full disclosure, everybody out there got a small bladder. Yeah, I got to go all the time.
Tell us more.
Yeah, well, I'll give you details later.
Send
But no,
pics.
so I always like to use the restroom right before the movie because that way I'm like, hey, it gives me plenty of time to watch the movie, get out, I'll go use it again right when the movie's done. And so we go get our seats, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to find our seat so I know where to sit, and I'll go use the restroom. But I'm going to kind of wait till the movie gets closer. And this is an open theater. Like, there's nobody's in the theater. There's like maybe 10 people. And me and my girlfriend sit in like in the middle row, like in the middle of the theater, so no one's around. And of course, there's, again, hundreds of seats are open. And like the two other couples come in, and they sit like on both sides of me and my girlfriend. So now it's that social situation you're talking about, Joe, where I have to now go use the restroom, like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like you could have sat anywhere, and you picked on either side of me. Why? There's an open theater. There's like 100 seats.
Two people walked in. They saw you guys. They're like, let's split up. Take both sides.
He's got to go. All right, guys. I think we're good here. I think we've shared too many stories that people will probably never come back and listen to us now.
They never started.
Perfect.
I agree.
Job's done.
We tackled Dragonheart, Fear of Flying Spiders, and
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is the dragon.
Triple butt cheeks.
Triple butt cheeks.
And duck-sized horses.
Definitely probably the weirdest podcast we've done.
Dude.
Well, this is going to be Cody's last podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
So
apparently.
after we sign off, who's going to Cody's house to check on him?
Yeah.
This is the first podcast where I paid attention.
You were actually present. I see now. All right. Well, thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. We appreciate you guys coming back. You guys are the best. You guys, of course, can check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We are on iTunes and SoundCloud. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're all over the place these days. We really appreciate you guys. Come check out those pages because, we have more exciting stuff coming your way. But until then, this is That Cousin Show, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you.